I'm Dan Passarelli. Thanks for joining me. I am so excited to be here with you right here, right now. And today I'm covering, I kind of changed the title at the last minute because I wanted to make this really, really clear. I'm covering how you can tap into the hidden income source that already exists in your portfolio and, and literally have Wall Street traders pay you every 2 weeks while helping you sell at a profit. Does that sound pretty good? Doesn't it? Right? Give me a yes if that sounds good. So while you're doing that, I'm honored to have this opportunity and to come speak to you about one of the ways that I consistently generate cash while doing it with less risk than the average investor. I do it with a simple technique that everyone can use, and not only is it a way to generate greater income, but here's what's important: it works in all market conditions, especially in down markets, big down markets. Because of the current market volatility, I agreed to come here and help out and speak to the TradeThirsty family of traders on how to do it. Before we get started, I want to point out that options are not for everyone, and you should read the characteristics and risks of standardized options before trading. All right, let's make sure we're in the right place here. If you agree with any of these statements, just go down to questions, type yes. I'm here because I want to secure my retirement and financial freedom. Give me a yes, just type yes under questions. If any one of these is you, want to secure your financial freedom. I'm here so I can tap into the hidden income already in my portfolio. I am, this could be either of these, new to investing and want to fast track my success, or already doing pretty well, but I know I can always do better. Yes, is one of those you? And for me, for you, winning is the only option. I'll do everything necessary to protect my family and my financial future. Hopefully we got a whole bunch of yeses. Let's take a look here. Holy cow, we do. Kumar, Jean, David, Will, Meg. Okay, a whole bunch of people. Great. So here's what we're going to do today within this next hour. This is my promise to you. I'm going to show you how it's possible to generate cash consistently over and over while lowering risk, even in down markets, so you don't have to rely on buying and holding and praying. At the end of this presentation, I'll show you how you can follow the exact same steps that I use every day to do it. Fair deal? Also, I'm going to hold all questions to the end of the presentation. So if you have a question, please write it down and I will cover it later. The idea is not to buy and hold praying that your stocks go up. It's to tap into the income source already in your portfolio, to generate cash consistently over and over while lowering your risk, even and especially in down markets, without being handcuffed to the simple buy and hold strategy, or I like to call it now the buy and hold and pray strategy. And the best part is, the way it works is that Wall Street traders actually pay you every 2 weeks and help you sell at a profit. And the only way to tap into this stream of income is through my smart paycheck system. And I do this every day in my personal accounts, and so can you. The first thing you need to know is that if you haven't been getting the results you want, it is not your fault. The buy and hold strategy simply does not work anymore, at least not in its traditional form. With all your wealth tied up in stocks that are at the mercy of the market, there's just too much risk, and it takes too long. Ross before me here referenced 18 months, which I just saw one of the firms say that it could take 18 months. Do you have 18 months? What if you could make real cold hard cash right now, not risking more by buying more stocks, but actual cash out of investments you already have without adding risk, and in fact lowering your risk while increasing your profits? If you could do that, wouldn't that make sense? Well, I struggled for years with my investing, trying to find better stocks to buy, set up stop losses at the perfect levels, using complex indicators and ultimately buying and holding and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting until I discovered how to tap into the investments I already had to make consistent low-risk cash, even and especially in down markets. So once again, my name's Dan Passarelli. This is sort of a pictorial representation of some of the companies I work with. I'm a former member of both the Chicago Board Options Exchange and Chicago Board of Trade. I'm the author of 2 of the top options books, Trading Option Greeks and the Market Taker's Edge, regular contributor to Bloomberg TV, Fox Business News, Reuters, all the online publications. And I train traders just like you literally all over the world. Warren Buffett said, if you don't learn to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Warren Buffett also figured out a way to consistently generate cash. And in fact, one of the ways he does it is the exact same way I'll share with you today. And other great investors do this exact same thing too. In fact, honestly, all of them do. Mark Cuban uses options. If it wasn't for him using options to protect his shares when broadcast.com collapsed, he wouldn't be who he is today. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today is options. We'll give a little crash course in that earlier, but I'm going to kind of give you an understanding of how it works without really getting into the weeds at first. Then we get into details later. Jim Rogers uses options. Rick Santelli also does. These traders are the best of the best. They use this exact simple technique to have the rest of Wall Street traders pay them regular payments every 2 weeks, just like I do, and just like I'll share with you. So here is, excuse me, here is how it works. What if you could get regular cash payments, like a paycheck, every 2 weeks from Wall Street traders? Again, right now I'm giving you the concept. And they also help you to sell your shares when the market's up and buy them when the market is down. Professional traders do this. Would you be interested in learning more? Of course. Well, I sat down and mapped out exactly what this would look like for you on a typical stock. This is part of a trading system that, when followed closely, both pays you cash and helps you do what's called scalping stock. That's buying stocks when they're at low prices and turning around and selling them at high prices. And it's all contractually arranged, and Wall Street traders are on the other side of the contract that you make. So let's simplify this. Imagine you own a stock. The first step in this system enables you to create a contract in which, in this case, you get paid $138. And the Wall Street trader you made the contract with watches your stock, and you get to sell it to him if it goes up a lot. So far, so good. The cool thing is that these contracts only last a certain period of time. In this case, 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, if you don't sell your stock to the trader, the contract ends and you keep that money. You simply make another contract. And in this case, we'll say you collect $127 on that contract. Then after 2 weeks, that contract expires and you make another contract with the trader. There are a number of professional traders who are willing to do this. So it might be the same person or it might not, and it doesn't matter, as long as you keep getting paid, right? So now in this case, you'd collect $131 for your contract this time. Your cash, which is riskless, by the way, right? Idle cash doesn't lose money when the market goes down. It's just cash. Your cash keeps adding up. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds crazy. Why would this Wall Street trader make this contract with you, right? Doesn't he lose money? No, that's the beauty of this. The trader who has the contract with you is hedged. He's protected and doesn't have to worry. And in fact, that's why when your stock goes up too much, he's able to buy the shares you sell to him at that high agreed upon price. Now, when the stock goes up above a certain price, in this case, you end up selling your shares at a good and higher price. Everybody's happy, you're making money. Then, the following Monday, we'll say that was a Friday, the following Monday when the market opens, guess what happens? Guess what? Cha-ching, it's payday again. Your new contract gets you 152 bucks this time. And here's what happens next. Now the market goes down to the level at which the professional trader has agreed you can buy the stock from him. And again, he's hedged. He's glad to sell it to you, and you're glad to buy it. Here, you'd have bought your stock back at a low. And then the next day, boom, it's payday again. You receive 123 bucks, and it goes on and on like this. It goes up a lot, and you sell by assigning your shares to the contract. By assigning your shares in the contract to the trader. And then you write another contract, get paid 154 bucks this time. And by the way, all these contracts are very common. Like, you don't need to get a lawyer and all that business. They're standard transactions that literally just require the click of a mouse. As long as you can follow a simple system and click a button that says place order, this is going to be really easy. Okay? Can you do that? Can you click a button today that says place order? Yes, give me a yes if you can do that one simple thing. Yes? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. We got some yeses. We got Kumar, we got Melanie, we got Joe, we got Elton, we got John, we got Jean. Awesome. Okay, so look, then it's just simply following along. After this expiration of the contract, boom, collect 149 bucks. Then when the market's lower, boom, you buy back your shares. Then 117 bucks. Then you collect 123 bucks. And then you sell your shares at a higher price. And then you collect 159, and so on and so on. You get a paycheck, get a paycheck, get a paycheck. And it works. Smart paychecks. So far, do you think you can do this? Are you getting this? Give me a yes if you think you're getting this. Give me a yes if you're getting this. Yes, yes, yes. Good. David, Melanie, Jean, Sophie, Kumar, Steve, Elton. Okay, we got lots of people. Great. So, oh wait, hold on a second. I almost forgot. I want to call your attention to something. So this is a 6-month chart. If you originally own 100 shares of this stock when it was at 170 bucks, you know, here in the beginning, 6 months ago, how much money can you make on that? That's 17 grand. How much money can you make on that 17 grand? Well, with the buy and hold and praise strategy, looking at this chart in this case, yeah, you could have made a little bit. But then again, it could have gone down and you could have lost a little bit or maybe a lot. But what about collecting smart paychecks? How much cash can you bring in using this system? And that's the thing that really changed my life when I discovered what was going on with this. See, I came from the trading pits in Chicago. I knew a lot of people who used this technique, and when they first shared it with me, they described it as limited insurance. And maybe right now you're scratching your head like I did. I didn't get that. Limited insurance? I mean, it's obvious that this is an incredible way to tap into your existing portfolio. And without the system, you wouldn't have access to it. That's instantly clear. But limited insurance, that seems strange. How is generating, 130 bucks insurance? But then it hit me. So look, I want you to look very carefully at this. It's not about $138 or $152 or the scalps you lock in. The key to unlock the real power is the system itself. If I own $17,000 worth of a stock and I collect 138, 127, 131, and so on and so forth, sooner or later, I've collected enough cash to cover losses if the stock goes down, right? Even if it goes down a lot. Once I was invited to be a speaker at an investors conference, and someone came up to our booth and I shared with him this system. And he said, oh yeah, I've been doing this for years. In fact, there's this one stock that I've been doing this on for almost 10 years. And in fact, I've collected way more cash from writing these contracts than I spent on the stock itself originally. He effectively owned the stock for free. Now that is the best insurance you can buy, isn't it? And in fact, many people, even some professional traders I know who've been doing this a long time, don't realize this actually works ideally in big down markets for that very reason. So take a look. Imagine you've been using this smart system to collect regular paychecks on the stock for a while. Your insurance fund has been growing. So recently you collected, you've been doing this for a while, but just like what we're looking at on this chart, you collected 127 bucks and then 139 bucks. But the thing with all crashes is you never know when they're going to hit. We all wish we did, but we don't. But here's the thing. Down markets provide an extra oomph for this that's kind of hidden from a lot of people. This strategy actually gets better because the insurance adds up faster just when you need it. The premium cash you collect can become much larger. Just like a real insurance policy, when there's greater risk, the premiums get bigger, right? So as the stock falls, every time you collect on your contract, you collect more, sometimes way more. At the start, you might get a small amount more, like, okay, 193 bucks. That's bigger than what we were talking about, right? But here, after a bigger fall, it would be more like, 335 bucks. And then when the stock's even lower, it might be like 385 bucks or something. Can you see how if you could get payments like this, it would cushion your blow, and how you would easily outperform the average investor? Do you see this? Now, this is a system in which the sooner you start using it, the better. Am I right? Yes? And that's because it adds up and protects you more the longer you use it. No waiting until tomorrow. This is the time to start right now, right? So I've been doing this for years. And here's a screenshot from my IRA about a year ago. And don't worry, I've been using this for long before then. But I took this screenshot for a presentation last April. This 2-week period netted me about what? 272, 441, 344, about like 1,300 bucks or so. This can be a typical 2-week period for you. Maybe not every 2-week period will work out exactly like this. There will be some where you'll have to manage your trades and make some adjustments. But I want your mind to start working this way and see the power of this. And this is just from the last 7 days. These are real. I mean, look, this is those of you who use this trading platform that I'm using, without mentioning any names, like, you know what this is, right? This is my trade history from the last 7 days. This is a great way to lock in some profits, as you can see I did with some of these trades, and it's a way to accumulate long-term investments in very down markets. The gentleman before me just mentioned about how there's a lot of inside buying. Will the market go lower? Yeah, it could, But if you're doing this in your IRA to scoop up long-term investments, how about getting a 30% discount from where it was a month ago? And maybe it takes 3 months to come back. Maybe it takes 18 months to come back. You're getting the discount of a lifetime. You're never going to call the exact bottom, but this is what the smart money does. Can you make this happen? What'll it take? Maybe like commitment, right? The smart paycheck system is simple, and I think you'd be crazy not to do it. It's how you can do one simple thing that literally takes 5 minutes a day that can have a profound impact on your entire financial freedom. But the problem is a lot of people make it hard. I've heard every excuse in the book for inaction, for status quo, not to be rude, but for laziness. I've heard it's too hard. It's too time consuming. I don't know how to do it yet. I don't want to make thousands of extra dollars a month. Okay, I didn't actually hear that one. But not doing this is basically that's what you'd be saying, right? So I put everything you need into one simple step-by-step smart system that shows you exactly what to do, the exact steps to follow, so you can easily do exactly what I do in literally 5 minutes a day. I've made it so you can't mess it up. So this is one of our students, one of our top students, Kat. When she first came to us, she traded without much of a plan. She'd be the first person to proudly tell you that, and it showed in her results at the time. She didn't do well when she first came to us. Now she's been one of our top students. She made the commitment, and it's really, I'm not going to share numbers because that's her business. It's really working out for her. Anybody can do this. This is the simple system I created for our traders. There are 5 steps. I'm going to share with you right now the important parts of step 1, the simple trade identification formula, so you'll be able to identify good candidates for this trading system right off the bat. Because if you don't start out with good trades using this system, you'll face some challenges. Oops. So the first thing to know is this system uses options. There's 2 types of options, calls and puts. A call option basically makes money when the stock goes up. Put options make money when the stock goes down. You pay for them, but we're being smart because do we want to pay for something and add extra risk? No, we want to instead collect money. So what we're actually doing in this strategy is selling calls and puts. When we own a stock, we're selling a call option. That's specifically the name of the contract we're making with these Wall Street traders. And with put options, we're selling a put, and that's the contract that we're making with these traders. Calls enable us to sell high when the market's up. Puts enable us to buy low when the markets go down when we're selling them. All these options expire, like I mentioned, right? So when the options expire, that's when I might be selling high or buying low by using this strategy. So what this is it is a way to control your financial future. And I'm seeing people here in the questions. I'm going to hold all questions to the end, but somebody was just saying they made $495. What, this week was it? I read it really quick. Great, good. If you're already doing this, that's great. I'm going to show you how to be able to do it even better, more efficiently. Because like I said, a lot of people kind of mess it up. Now, again, we're going to focus on tapping into the hidden income source in your existing portfolio so you can generate consistent cash over and over again while lowering risk. So now I'm going to show you how to identify these trades. It is imperative to start with each trade set up correctly. They say in the computer business, garbage in, garbage out. So we need to get this right from the get-go. This is the process for the first of these 5 steps. We're going to truly identify your objectives on currently held stocks or ETFs that are over $30 a share. So again, this is like we're talking about lots of different strategies. You know, Jeanette put on this fantastic event to help lots and lots of different people. Some people are going to be talking about trading, like really active trading strategies today. I'm talking about protecting your long-term wealth. I'm talking about your investments today. So we do this. Most of my doing this is in my IRA, because that's what I really want to protect. That's my long-term wealth, right? So we're doing this on stocks or ETFs that we already hold, typically when they're over 30 bucks, but not always. We want to verify the earnings data is after the front expiration. We want to verify the offer is no more than 10% greater than the bid. We want to evaluate that the trade makes sense based on objectives and strike proximity. Now, the two most important metrics in this is ROI and COI. Now, look, ROI, I think most people get this concept. You know, a quick story on how powerful this strategy is when it comes to ROI. In 2005, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange asked me to teach classes for them. It took me out of the pits and had me teach some of their professional traders. One of the first classes was on this strategy we're talking about. And before class, I was having breakfast with him. And we were shooting the breeze, and he said, oh, yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I run a fund. It's $2 billion. And I was like, holy Jesus, $2 billion. And I'm going to talk to him about, and look, like, I've been doing this for a long time already. I was thinking, this is like the most basic strategy. Every successful professional trader in the world does this. This guy manages $2 billion. He must know how to do this. He's gonna hate me. So long story short, I give the class for 3 days. At the end of the class, he comes up to me. He goes, "Oh my God, like you changed my business." You know, he said, like, I am going to start doing this all the time with all my big fish clients. And I was like, holy cow, I didn't know that this was like a Wall Street secret, you know? So I shared it with him. It changed his life and the life of all of his clients. So now I'm sharing this with you, and it's really exciting. So, but you know, like that's the ROI, getting a better return on your investment, growing your account faster. But the other metric that's really important and under considered is the cost of inaction. What is the cost of continuing just to float along and do what you're already doing and not take any action, right? Or like what does that cost you? Like, if your account over the last month is doing just great, you can probably stop listening today, you know? I mean, I'm not trying to chase anybody off the webinar, but look, I agreed to be here because of current market conditions. What's the cost of continuing doing what you're already doing? Do you just are you the kind of person who takes what you're given, or are you in control? And you know what? I know the answer to that question. You're here on a freaking Saturday morning at whatever time zone you're in, somewhere between 9:30 and 6:30. Like, you're here to make it happen, right? So you guys are the action takers, and I'm proud of you for being here, and I'm super excited to share my time with you. All right, so I kind of want to break down step one into a couple steps. We want to truly identify our objectives. Objectives guide your trades, always. Know your objective, and you've won half the battle, okay? So here's where we kind of get into the weeds a little bit. Here's where I kind of share some of the secrets to this. So if you're taking notes, I want you to start taking notes now. Get your pen and paper out of the drawer next to you, okay? All good? Everybody ready to take notes? Yeah? So there are two different objectives when it comes to this. There's the skate or trade objective. I'm going to explain them both to you. What a lot of people do when they use this strategy is they try and skate. They do this, they focus only on trying to make this cash, because of course cash doesn't, you know, make or lose money when the market goes up or down. It's a static, safe asset, right? and that this is a noble objective of this. It's not the only objective, but I want to share this objective first. So for example, like this stock was trading at something like, what was it, $240 a share or something like this when I took this screenshot. All right. It was trading, yeah, I want to say it was about 240 bucks a share. Oh, no. It's trading about 245 bucks a share now that I think about it. So what I would do in the options, and look, I tried to keep this really basic in the beginning because I know everybody has never looked at options, and you know, like some of this is completely foreign to a lot of folks, and that's totally okay. If you have looked at options before, this is going to look kind of familiar to you, and you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff right now. If you're like, you know, never heard of options, never looked at any of this before, it's totally okay. I'm going to show you where I can break this down and make it ridiculously easy for you just a little bit later. With the stock at around 245 bucks a share, we could have sold the 252.5 calls. So that's the contract we're talking about at $204. Excuse me, at $2.04 a share. All these contracts are based on 100 shares, so that's $204 put in your pocket today. Now, look, $204 is just a little bit shy of 1%. I mean, I'm kind of simplifying, doing some easy math, but it's about a little bit less than 1% of the price of the shares we own. Now, this was about a 2-week contract when I could have sold these calls, okay? So who here, like, here's what I want, audience participation. I want you to give me a yes or a no here. Who would be okay taking in just roughly about 1% every 2 weeks on stocks that you already own that you're not going to do anything with anyway? Give me a yes if that represents you. Would you be okay taking in roughly about 1%, you know, roughly about every 2 weeks? Steve, Sophie, Chandra, Melanie, Jim, okay, like Will, okay. All the people who are paying attention said yes, right? So the objective for this trade could be to skate, and skate in this nomenclature means not get assigned and have to sell the stock. Just give me that 1%-ish, and 2 weeks later, give it to me again. And then there's the underused trade objective. So when you look back at that chart that I was showing you, there were some times when the market went up, I would sell and then later buy it back at a lower price. And then later, if it goes up too much, sell it. And the professional trader on the other side of the contract was super glad to do that because he's hedged. So that's a good objective too. And in fact, there are some times when people will use this where they bought a stock maybe a couple years ago. I mean, you won't do this in this market because a lot of things are down, although there are some stocks, you know, Zoom or Gilead are a couple examples where this might work. Maybe you bought this stock a couple of months ago and now it's up really, really good. You've got some uncertainty or it hit a resistance level or whatever reason, you're thinking, hey, now's a great time to take some profits. If I sell that 252.5 call on a stock that I bought at, say, 245, if this stock goes above 252.5, guess what happens? I sell it at 252.5, plus I get an extra $204 a share that I get to $204 total on my 100 lot to keep. So that's profit on the stock and profit on the call. Are you liking this? Is this making sense? Yes? And then there's the very underused trade objective that I really like under some circumstances. How many people have a stock in their portfolio that maybe it's down a little bit, you know, just a little bit, and you're worried about the future? You'd kind of like to sell it, but you'd like to sell it at a better price than it's trading now. Give me a yes if you have a stock in your portfolio that you'd like to take that risk off the table, but you don't want to sell it at this price. You'd like to sell it at a little bit of a higher price. Any yeses on that one? Oh my God, if I don't get a yes on that, okay, I got like a million yeses on that. Okay, great. So look, here's what a person could do. Let's say I bought this at 245 bucks. You know, I bought it right before the crash, right? And it's down a little bit. It's kind of held up pretty well, but I'm reading the news, and you know, like, look, nobody can see the future. Maybe you think the market's going to go down more. Maybe you think it's going to go up more. In this case, we'll say, you know, you're worried and you just kind of like to dump it, but at a little bit of a higher price. Here's what you could do. You could sell these calls, these 240 strike calls at $8, and guess what? If you get what's called a signed on those, even if the stock is here, even if it doesn't go up, you could end up selling it, but you'd sell it at $240, which at first seems, oh no, that's not good. That's below $245, but you have to consider you also collect $8.05 a share, which means you're actually selling what you bought at $245 at $248. So there's a lot of really amazing creative things that you can do with this strategy. And the best part of this is, this is a time-saving endeavor. I know that if you're like a lot of the traders that I talk to, you're in front of the computer all day long. And if you're new to this, I mean, look, we've got some traders who are freaking killing it in this market. This is an option trader's dream market, right? Not to take away from the fact that, you know, it can be tough for a lot of traders, and I hear from those traders too. For the ones that it's tough, here's what I get. They say, I log into my account and I just stare. I don't know what to do. I find myself staring at the screen for an hour, and I'm nervous. I think of all these different strategies, and I don't do anything, and I just watch my investments lose money. A lot of this, I mean, it's very clear that this will save you money. This will make you money. This will protect your investments. That's the obvious part. The financial benefits are proven by many different studies. But what's not always talked about is the time. When you get this system, right, after today, when you really get this system, you would be able to do the things that I'm sharing with you today in 5 minutes. This is a guy, Mike, right? It's like a very fancy picture because he's got a really big deal job. He's very professional or very successful in his profession. That means he doesn't have a lot of time. When he first came to me, he said option trading used to be overwhelming with my busy schedule. He'd often miss opportunities, fail to manage properly. And we worked with him on getting a system down so that he didn't have that problem anymore, so that he knew exactly what to do every single time. You can do this in 5 minutes a day, and all the stress is gone because all you're doing is following a simple system. Doesn't that sound great? Now, there's a couple extra steps that I'd like to share with you here so that when you do the system, you know, after today, you'll at least be able to find great trades. But I'm also later going to show you how you can be able to manage these trades and really kill it. So look, we want to verify the earnings date is after the front expiration. We'll talk about selecting the exact expiration of these contracts later in the smart system. But it must at least be after earnings to consider a candidate in a typical market. We want to evaluate that the trade makes sense based on objectives and strike proximity. So look, the makes sense factor is what I call it. It's a simple yes-no test of whether the covered call proposition is logical based on each specific candidate. So look, like this one that I shared with you, oh yeah, the stock was at 244.25. This trade that I shared with you earlier, like there's nobody in this room who's going to be like, yeah, no, I don't want to make an extra 1% or so every 2 weeks. Like, you're in the wrong presentation if you're not salivating over this one, right? Like, this is, there's a million trades out there, like maybe not a million. There's a whole bunch of trades out there right now just like that. But not every stock is great for what we're talking about for this system. Like, for example, this one, you know, like with this stock happens to be Ford at 927, like we're not going to sell the 950 calls. Like, it's too close. You know, the strike is too close. We might end up selling just a quarter higher. So we can't sell the 10s. Like, and we're only collecting 10 cents on 100 shares. That's like literally $10 of money. If you pay commissions, like, there's some stocks that this is fantastic on, and there are some stocks where you don't want to do it. So it's very, very important to screen these and get it right. And when you do, holy cow, is this powerful. We want to evaluate that the strikes make sense, like I said. Also, so strikes that are and strikes is the price where you agree to buy or sell, the contract that you make with the professional trader. Strikes too close to the stock means a greater chance of assignment, which means you might sell, which might be great. It might be part of your objective, or it might not. Strikes too far from the stock means you don't collect enough and it's just not worth it. Because look, collecting like, you know, 1%-ish, even a little bit less than 1% every 2 weeks, that math works, right? Everyone agrees on that. But, you know, if you're only collecting like, you know, 1/4% or something like that, yeah, it might not be worth doing. So it's really, really important to set up these contracts properly. And if you get this down, you will be miles ahead of the typical investor. Can you imagine having the confidence of knowing you can outperform in up markets as well as down markets, just cranking out cash consistently over and over again? Like, you know, just like close your eyes, imagine that for a second. Feels good, doesn't it? Well, look, the MTM Smart Paychecks income system, that's what this is all about. Quick test. Are you getting this? Yes? Give me a yes. Are you getting this? Steve says yes. Melanie says yes. Jim says yes. David, Joe, Kumar. Okay, good. So this does not have to be hard. The system is simple. Work the system works. And your trading can improve greatly right now. This can change your life right now. It depends on the actions you take. Now, the other steps are important as well to this, right? So we need to screen value. Remember, like, yeah, if you're making, you know, 0.8%, 1%, 1.2% every couple of weeks, you're doing something brilliant, you know? So you have to be able to screen properly for value using what we call volatility charts. That's a little bit out of the scope of what we're talking about here today, but they're really important to make this so easy. The amazingly easy strike and expiration solution, you know, because these contracts basically are like, I can sell higher, I can buy low. You need to make sure you get those prices right. The results-driven trade entry tips and tricks. So when you're putting in this trade, you know, sometimes in markets like these, the markets are really, really wide. So I'm going to share with you all the tips that you need to be able to, what we call middle markets the right way without ending up screwing it up and having the market run away from you. And then, of course, the time-saving management, adjusting, and rolling plan. I like to say there's 3 M's to investing. Management makes money, and that's the secret sauce that makes all of this work. So how often can you find opportunities like this? There are literally hundreds right now, especially right now. And if you don't take action on great opportunities, your ROI remains, you know, the same. I'm saying 0, but for a lot of people, unfortunately, now it's negative. And your COI, what does that stand for again? Remember? Cost of inaction continues adding up. Are these returns common? Yes. Studies prove this data. Everything I shared with you is backed up by hard, cold data by firms that study this stuff. If you can identify the best candidates, set them up right now and manage them, this can change your life. And what if the trade doesn't work out? So each trade is a step in a proven system. Work the system works. You see what happens when you collect cash over and over again. This is a simple system anybody can follow. The timing's freaking ideal right now. If you can follow a checklist, you can take the first steps toward beating the market today. Let me share this with you. So in this course, I'm going to share with you my system to help you tap into the hidden income source inside your existing portfolio so you can generate consistent cash over and over again without having to rely on the buy and hold and pray strategy as your only way to win and have Wall Street traders pay you every 2 weeks and help you sell at a profit. So you can trade consistently, confidently, have peace of mind, and you're going to be able to start right now. This is the MTM Smart Income System is a 5 easy to follow online set of 5 modules that literally lays out income generation step by step for a lifetime of more profitable investing. This is among our top courses for good reason. I mean, look, man, like you see what power is. Let's just take it down a couple of notches, right? Turn the volume level down to 2. If you could make just an extra 10% in your IRA for the rest of your life, what's that worth to you? If you make an extra 10% in your IRA this year, would that help erase the sting of this market crash? So this system covers every single thing you need to know: how to scan trades, where to get the data, how to screen for value, and mostly there's 3 M's to investing. Management makes money. Once you put it on, how to manage it. So you now have a new opportunity to make back what you lost this past couple weeks way faster, to add cash to your portfolio without buying more stocks, and to finally take control of your financial future and live with the financial freedom you deserve. So look, this is not for gamblers, right? That's not that kind of strategy. This is to get paid over and over again with confidence and consistency. If you like to bet big and don't care if you lose, that's a different trading style. It's not for you if you'd rather spend time and money and endure losses over many years. This is the fast track. I'm giving this presentation now because people need help, and that's no joke. I'm 100% serious. If you're serious about your investing, I will help you make it really easy for you. And it's also not for wishy-washy procrastinators. You know, if you're an overthinker, investing's probably not for you either, right? You know, this is for people who want more consistency, want a lower risk. If you believe your success is tied to following a methodology and you can follow a few steps and you're willing to invest in yourself. So look, the MTM Smart Income System is a $2,500 class, right? And if you look at your IRA right now, if you would have invested in a class like this a month ago, $2,500, would that have been maybe the best investment you're going to make all year, or at least this year so far to date? I think the answer is yes. But I want to make sure that this is really, really simple for you. And for me to help as many people as possible, I've got to make it possible. I've got to make this basically irresistible. So I decided to add some bonuses. This is our Options Impact video series that fast tracks you. If you're brand new to options, you watch these 8 videos first and you know as much as everybody. Of course, if you're advanced, like Mark here from Bellevue, he was an environmental engineer. He retired. Now he just trades full time using this system every day. So the Options Impact video series, for those of you who are new, is a $500 value bonus. I'm giving that to you today. But I want you to be able to see it in action. So every single day, you're going to log into your trading account, and you're going to watch John Kamisic. If you don't know that name yet, you should, and you will very, very soon, intimately. He's an ex-Goldman Sachs guy. He's probably the smartest trader I know. You're going to log in every day to our group coaching class, and you're going to watch him set up these trades live every day. This is your hands-on training, all right? You're going to watch it every day for 3 months. That class on our website is a $1,047 investment. We're just going to give it to you so you can see how it works. Again, it's my objective today to help as many people as possible. Also, we're going to give you a support group. For 3 months, you're going to be in our MTM community chat room. You're going to be able to ask questions, get real live trade ideas, real time. I'm in there every day. John's in there every day. And our top students are in there every day sharing trade ideas. That's a $300 value. We're giving that to you today as well. So look, the Smart Income System is $2,500. Those of you who are new are going to be, you're not going to feel new in a couple of days after you watch these videos. You're going to get your hands-on training and you're going to get your support group. This is a $4,340 package, right? A lot of that's bonuses. The list price is just $2,499. But for me to be able to help as many people as possible in this crisis, here's what I'm doing. Right now, you can make it happen for yourself by going to markettaker.com/thirsty, and I'm going to give this to you for $497. What does that come out to? 80% off. This is a I wanted to make this as no-brainer of a trade as humanly possible, because for me to be able to help you, I need you to take action, right? This is for action takers. This is not for people who just want to go with the flow. If you're going with the flow in this market, good luck. So please take me up on this offer. In fact, go right now to markettaker.com/thirsty. A couple of questions that I typically get. I'm going to have maybe a minute or two for questions. Is this live or recorded? It's both. The MTM Smart Income System is a 5-minute module, 5-module class, rather. The group coaching is live every day from 10 to 11 Eastern. That's 7 to 8 Pacific. Live every day, but it's also recorded. If you have a job, about half the people actually just watch the recording. Don't worry about that. You can participate no matter what your schedule is. This saves you time. You have lifetime access. This saves you time. It'll save you time so you can have peace of mind. Do the things you love with your friends and family, you know, at home. Yeah. And how do I know I'll be able to do it? Because look, not only do you get the training in 5 modules, but John literally gives you trade ideas every day so you can just simply follow along, right? So all you have to do is watch these 5 modules, and every day for 3 months, he's just gonna give you the trade ideas. All you have to do is follow along. You will be an expert. They say there's the 10,000 hour rule. If you do something for 10,000 hours, you're an expert. First of all, John's been doing this for almost 30 years. That's over 50,000 hours. He's an expert 5 times over, and you're going to be in his head every day for 3 months. So look, this package, $4,340. I'm giving you 90% off right now because it's essential. This is the thing that I can do to help the most people right now. Now is the time. Go to markettaker.com/thirsty. If I have time for a couple of questions, I'll take them. If not, I certainly want to make sure that all the other great presenters are able to share everything they need to with you today also. Throw in some questions, and if
Go ahead and take some questions, Dan. You have about 3 minutes.
Okay, great. Chandra says, can this be turned into a call spread if you don't own this? Yeah, that's a little bit of a different strategy. We do cover some other strategies for income generation that can be for some more aggressive traders. This here is conservative. It's risk reducing. It's getting cash instead of adding more risk by buying stocks. But yeah, Chandra, we do cover some other stuff. Gene says, does John use leaps instead of stocks? Yeah, he does sometimes. That's called a diagonal. That's covered at the end of this course also. This is the most comprehensive course you can possibly buy. And we did that intentionally so that it serves all traders as well as we know how to do. You're going to be in our group. There is safety in numbers right now online. Gene also said, he asked that already. Elton says, Elton asked a great question. He says, what's the ongoing rate of the daily after 3 months? There's no long-term contract. This is a Jeanette asked me to do this. Typically, I don't. Typically, it comes with like a monthly subscription, but I wanted to make sure that nobody has any excuse for not taking action and for suffering, the same fate they've been doing. So I made this is a one-time payment of 497 bucks. There's no recurring payment afterwards. If you want to continue with the daily classes afterwards, we're going to give you a really great discount, but there's no recurring payments. One-time payment, because we wanted to make this a no-brainer. I mean, anybody who doesn't do this, maybe you don't, maybe you're not worried, you don't have a big IRA, that's totally cool. Steve says, are cash secured puts dangerous in this market? It depends on your objective. So, like, raise your hand if you think the market is never going to make new highs ever again in your lifetime. I don't see any hands going up. I can see through my computer, right? Me personally, I have sold some puts to take advantage of these low levels for the long term, but I've also done some to make money in the short term. Steve says, I want to own Microsoft. This is the absolute best way that you can own Microsoft, because you can potentially buy it from a lower price that it's trading at. Linda, again, no monthly subscription with this. The monthly subscription, I'm going to give you a super discount. It's you're going to get an email later to ask you if you want to join. It's going to be 227 bucks, which is another no-brainer. If you can make, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month, it's a business. You'll pay $227 a month, but that's down the road. You're not going to pay another dime for 3 months, and this is going to help you in the time that you need it. All right. I want to make sure that the next presenter has his time, so I'm gonna stop. Thank you all for sharing your time with me, and Jeanette, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this with some people. I'm grateful to have been able to hopefully provide some help.